Alexei Navalny, obviously in a Russian prison. There are reports today that he has been removed to a hospital for medical treatment after the hunger strike he has been on. Can you provide us the latest in terms of what the White House has heard about how he is doing, and if you believe this is an acceptable motive, if this is enough care for him, and what sort of conversations are being had right now with the Russian authorities as to that situation?
Well, first, I expect today, if not now, our National Security Advisor is going to have a conversation with his counterpart, and we'll have a readout of that once that's concluded. That, of course, will cover a range of topics, but certainly the detention and treatment of Navalny will be a part of that. Let me say that as a reminder, in the president's first conversation with President Putin, he raised a range of concerns, including the treatment of Navalny. On March 2nd, we announced, in coordination with several key allies and partners, our response to Russia's use of a chemical weapon to poison Alexei Navalny. We continue to reiterate our view that that what happens to Mr. Navalny in the custody of the Russian government is the responsibility of the Russian government, and that they will be held accountable by the international community. As the National Security Advisor Sullivan has said, he said just yesterday, well, we're not going to telegraph our punches. If Mr. Navalny dies, well, there will be consequences to the Russian government, and we reserve those options. But in the interim, our objective is, of course, continuing to call for, push for his release and reiterate our view that he must be treated humanely. Go ahead.
Thanks, Jen. The readout from Jake Sullivan's call just hit a little bit ago.
Timely.
But it didn't mention Navalny, and the Russians, of course, last week said that President Biden didn't mention him in their call. Any reason why his name hasn't been in the readouts?
Well, again, I reiterated that the president's first call with President Putin, he conveyed a range of concerns we have, including the treatment of Alexei Navalny. We issued, in coordination with our European partners, a number of steps to a number of sanctions in response to the poisoning of Alexei Navalny. I obviously haven't spoken to our national security team about the call, given I was out here for the call, so I'd have to check on that for you.
Then another question on the refugee cap. You mentioned the infrastructure constraints, et cetera. I mean, how close do you think you all can get to the 62,500? I mean, is there an initial projection of what you're hoping to hit for that?
We want to get to that, and we want to provide that to all of you, and our team is currently assessing exactly that.
And then lastly, on the Chauvin trial,
to be.
Another question on Navalny, given Jake Sullivan's comments yesterday about consequences.
Yeah.
President Biden obviously has requested a summit with Vladimir Putin. Mm-hmm. If Navalny dies in Russian custody, is that summit still on the table?
Well, let's certainly all hope and pray that that is not the outcome we're looking at. And again, there are a range of private conversations that occur diplomatically, and we continue to reiterate publicly as well our call for him to be released, to be treated humanely. But I'm not going to get ahead of a horrible outcome like that. Go ahead.